I have a bold prediction. This is the one night Charles will not say, oh, do we have to watch the highlights of that game? We just watched the game. Correct. You're going to want to see these highlights again.
And yes, I do want to see the highlights.
I mean,
that was incredible, man. James Harden
on fire.
He is on fire. And Kenny, you know I'm right.
What's that?
He is the most unguardable thing. I told you, I'm not
in this era.
In this era. Yeah. Well, first, yeah. But he's just unguardable. It's when he's making shots.
Yeah.
Man.
Last time I saw one guy fight four guys, I was on 57th Avenue in New York City in left, right. I mean, just.
And were you the one guy?
No, I wasn't out there. I said, I saw it. I was watching.
It was him and his brothers and sisters fighting one person.
No, but his ability to take on the double team and still shoot over the double team is incredible. But the fact that I still think that they didn't double him enough, but he's James Harden.
5 straight games of at least 40 points, 9 straight games of at least 35, 11 straight
I'll
of
tell
at
you
least
what,
30.
I apologize for this ugly green thing.
He can go ahead and wear whatever he wants.
You can wear whatever the hell you want to, James, the way you play.
Even when paper he grabbed it, I don't even know what the paper was on there for.
I do agree with you, Kenny. I think it's stupid these teams are doubling him. You got to take the ball out of his hand.
He can't take that many shots.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Steph Curry in the lane.
And they did it early in the game, though. The Warriors did a decent job early in the game of saying, we're going to run at him and not let him have this many opportunities to the rim like this. You know, but every time he did, he scored. Every time he doubled him, he didn't score.
Catch and shoot by Klay Thompson.
Pull! Let me take that.
That's it.
That's what Grant Hill always say.
Pull!
He ain't off.
Oh, good D.
Give it back.
70-point first half for Golden State. They're up 17 for Houston. And the Rockets playing without Chris Paul, playing without Eric Gordon. But they did have James Harden, and he saved his best for last. Curry, he makes it look effortless.
See, why would you let him do this? I don't understand. Why would you let him?
Oh, my goodness.
Why would you let him play one-on-one? He's the best one-on-one player in basketball.
Yes, he
let him
is.
play one-on-one like this.
And Klay,
you just did a mixer.
And Klay, like the best 2 defender in the league.
Oh, look at that. Create some space, won't you?
Oh, and then tapped him, gave him a little back tap.
Oh, no, we got to fight.
Little 98-92 action, and then we move forward.
Hey, you know what? Clint Capella had the quietest 29-21 in NBA history.
Durant.
History.
Wow.
Like, James played, it's ridiculous how great this guy is.
Oh, fade away.
Give me that. Well, I was going to say this at the beginning of the night. He's back to being my front runner for MVP, too.
119-113, but the Rockets score the last 6 points of regulation.
He's not the front runner, Shaq?
Capella right there. We'll get into that conversation in a second. If you want to watch Harden right here. And we're tied at 119.
I
got to go with the Greek freak, Chuck.
Why you come on, Chuck?
Come on,
Let's
come on,
get to
Chuck.
that. Let's get to that after this.
Oh, my God, you kidding me? Get out of here.
No kidding. All right, let's go to overtime. Neither team had won an overtime game. Golden State was 0-3. Houston was 0-2.
Something had to give.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Look at this, Arnie.
Ooh.
Come on, Arnie.
You got to make house. You got to make Austin Rivers beat you.
Yeah, Iggy's reaching. And
you know what's amazing about these shots, Kenny?
What's that?
They're all over different guys.
Yeah, but it's all over one guy.
I know that.
Steph right here. Falling into the Houston
To
bench.
have the energy to score this many points.
This shot,
a big shot right
he
here.
would have had to see 3 of those in the fourth quarter and then overtime for me.
Durant
shooting over a chair. Tough shot, though, Shaq.
Game tied at 130. Now, here's that.
This dude's out of bounds.
How do you miss this call?
Well, you know, the refs are like, I had a friend who was a ref named Derek Stafford. He was like one of the 3 Browns.
It's not even.
Yeah, look, not even close.
He's not out of bounds.
What you mean?
He's still on the court.
Why even have the line?
That was a Derek Stafford call right there.
And you know what? It was fitting.
And he got fouled.
That didn't cost him because Harden nailed that one for the 135-134 lead. And another look, he gets past Thompson over Draymond Green and bottoms it out.
This is ridiculous, Ernie. And then I told Chico back there, all you got to do is shake a guy's hand and just say, that was too good, man. He's the Barney Fife of security around here.
Here we go.
Last
How many bullets you got?
We only give him one bullet shot. Oh. We can't give him a whole 6.
And with that, the Rockets, who were down 20 in the third quarter, win it 135-134 in overtime. James Harden, 44 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists, his 5th triple-double. 21st time this year he's had at least 30. And you said what? Unguardable. 135 to 134. Yeah, just a simple OMG from Joel.
How do you know
Embiid.
he was watching that game?
And a simple MVP.
How do we know he was watching that game?
I agree. I love Greek Freak, but right now James Harden's the front runner for MVP. They're playing. I mean, this dude is scary, man.
How big a win for Houston? Shorthanded, no Chris Paul, no Eric Gordon, down 20 at Golden State.
No, Ernie, not just that. You remember Chris Paul got hurt in our game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember 2 weeks ago?
And I asked you, how are they going to do without him?
We all said.
And you said next 5 games they're going to go 0-5 or 1-4.
I said 2-5, 2-3.
I think you said 1-4.
I think I said 2, but all of us said they were going to be below 5. They haven't lost since then.
No, there's
because
this guy
is on fire right now. What he's doing is incredible. Like I say,
my only concern, and Chuck, you know this because you were a big-time scorer. I hope he doesn't get tired.
Well, first of all, everybody gets tired.
No, I mean, but he's playing super unbelievably right now, putting up great games. The question is, could he do something like that in the 7-game series?
I don't think anybody can play like that in a 7-game series.
So,
but the biggest,
I mean, he's playing great. I wish him well. I just hope he doesn't get tired.
I think he could play like that, but can he play like that for 82 games and a 7-game series? Multiple 7-game series in the Western Conference, which you possibly might have to do.
Because scoring 40 every night, taking 50 shots is difficult.
That is a difficult task to have, But, Mike D'Antoni and their system has figured out a way to reserve energy for him. At times,
call it on defense.
At the end of the third quarter, Rosgold on Woody was talking to Steve Kerr. And say, okay, what are you going to do about James Harden? He says, I'm open to any ideas that you've got.
Double him.
So let's see what Steve Kerr is saying after the game.
Hey, Steve, you mentioned that James Harden is a game changer. What do you think about the opportunities he had tonight?
What do I think about what?
The opportunities he created tonight, the way he could change the game.
He just did what he does. He's the master of the isolation and the step back 3 and drawing fouls. And I thought we did a really good job of keeping him off the line for the most part. I was not happy with that last call. I thought Draymond was vertical, and I thought James pushed him with the off arm. But give him credit, he made the 2 free throws, and he made an impossible shot at the end, and just an incredible performance. So I give him all the credit he deserves.
135-134, the final score. The Warriors have lost 3 in a row at home. They go to 25-14. The Rockets suddenly at 22-15 with that win. Well, the time deficit of the season for the 28-11 Toronto Raptors, who have gone to San Antonio and trail 67-51 as the former Raptor DeMar DeRozan. 19 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists in the first half.
Oh, my goodness.
We welcome you to the American Express Halftime Report from Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. And, of course, the story going into this game is Kawhi Leonard's return to San Antonio. Heard a lot of boos when he was introduced. Heard a lot of cheers for Danny Green. They are 2 of the American Express teammates we want to spotlight from the first 24 minutes. And Kawhi Leonard, 11 points, 5 out of 8. Danny Green has yet to connect. Scoreless, and DeMar DeRozan stealing the show. 19, 10.
Oh, my goodness.
And 5. Does that impress the Chuckster?
That is very impressive. That is some anger. He let Toronto know it. It's really an unfortunate situation because Kawhi's a great person and DeMar's a great person, but, this is a business. And it's unfortunate, but DeMar took it more personal than Kawhi.
First time in his career he's had a double-double in the first half.
First time?
In his.
That's amazing.
What do you make of what you watched there, big fella?
To add on to what Chuck is saying, the whole pregame, I know Kawhi's return to San Antonio. We're talking about Kawhi. We're talking about the business of basketball. we never mentioned DeMar DeRozan. And like Chuck said, he's letting Toronto know, hey, all that spiel about I'm the franchise player, you love me, you want me to stay, you know, you traded me away. I'm gonna show you that you guys made a mistake. And he's coming out playing with that extra spunk and that extra energy right here. You know, the same, things he's doing in Toronto, that one-on-one basketball. But right now he's saying, guess what, Toronto? You guys made a mistake too. There's other guys you could have probably traded, like Kyle Lowry, but you want to get rid of me? This is what happens when you get rid of me. I'm gonna give it to you tonight. And he's playing extra well. He's saying, what about me? He's letting everybody know, hey, I know Kawhi's returning, but I was dealt in this trade also. What about me?
7 out of 11 from the floor for DeRozan, who is shooting for the season 48%, his best mark since his rookie season of 2009-2010. So what about the Raptors in this one?
I watched the movie over break. What Much Ado About Nothing.
You watched that movie? That's an old movie.
It's an old movie. It just came on. I was watching. But if you're watching, you would go, what's so big about these Toronto Raptors if you haven't been watching over there? And so even in this blowout, I'm going to show you. Oh, I was waiting on you, Shaq. I was waiting on you. I'm going to show you what they really are on a consistent basis. So here you have DeMar DeRozan. See, you have 3 Toronto Raptors with eyes on the ball. This is what they've been all through the year. They've been a great defensive team, and they've been able to get things going and making you make tough and making decisions tougher. So now, don't give up on the play. And then they have so many weapons. Kawhi has the ball here, but they have playmakers. And here's one of them, Powell. He's come back into the lineup. Here's a guy who can make his own shot. This is what makes them good. Consistently, they have. Here's VanVleet, freeze it here. Instead of saying, where is Leonard? Where is Leonard? He's like, come get me, forget Leonard. This is not my night. This is not his night. As the play develops, he comes off the pick and roll. This is what he has done consistently, and maybe not tonight. So this is what you're missing out on. And this is, I do, Chuck, think they're going to get back in. And this guy's played all-star-like. Freeze it here, finding Leonard now. He gets in the paint, draws 3 players like him, and he passes it out. And now that gives Leonard a little bit more space to create. They have 4 or 5 creators on their team when Kyle Lowry's there. And I think that they're going to still get back in the game because of these guys.
Kyle Lowry missing his 9th game in the last 10, number 2 man in assists in the league. By the way, this game will be single digits going to the 4th quarter. But go ahead.
Well, first of all, let me just say this, Ernie. Not so fast. You're wrong. Shout out Lee Corso. This game is going to be a blowout, but I still think Toronto, this is just one of those emotional games, Ernie.
But does the emotion of that whole day and everything wear off now that you got a half under your belts?
Yeah, but they're still down 20. That's the difference. So
16.
Well, you know you do round up, fool.
You do round up.
You do round up.
Right.
You do not round up.
But I'm saying they got such a big lead. I think the energy and the momentum will carry them to this win. But I still think Toronto is the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. Kenny's pitchers were great. I think they're the deepest team. They're right there with the Celtics. They just got better chemistry than the Celtics.
Are you sleeping on Milwaukee?
No, I'm not sleeping on Milwaukee. No, Milwaukee's right there in Philadelphia. There's
Milwaukee's
4.
number 1. What do you mean right there?
I'm just saying, there's 4 legitimate teams in the Eastern Conference.
Who's the best team in the East right now?
I'm gonna go with the Toronto Raptors.
Okay. Well, I learned something good, Shaq. When you're really down 6, you're down 10.
That's exactly right. See, if you had went to class.
I didn't know. I didn't know I was down 10 when I was down 6.
If it weren't for basketball, you would be a dummy. But basketball saved you.
If you round up, Chuck, if you round up, what are you weighing right now?
Don't round up.
See.
So 260.
400.
So 260, you're really 300.
300 or 400?
400.
It's 300.
400.
Well, listen, Slim Slow. You better not be talking over that, Slim Slow.
My belly ain't over my belt like your belly is, buddy. Kenny, tell him, Kenny.
Oh, no.
I cannot.
Kenny.
Hey, Ernie, I'm not. You started 1990.
Tell him, Kenny.
Chuck has requested some Twitter material. That's strange that you would ask for some other. Maybe Chuck would have a title if they rounded up scores in games.
Oh, you're a funny guy, Daniel.
That was great, Daniel.
Rounds up when he goes to the bakery. 6 donuts, better fake.
Okay,
Round up.
Kiko, Martinez.
You're right, Kiko.
We're just going to call this. We're going to call
Must
this
be
show.
raining. Must be raining in Houston.
A money green rain jacket?
In Frisco, it's raining.
I like it.
Rockets
Could be
and
raining in
Warriors
San Francisco.
later.
Could be.
What is that, patent leather?
Oh, what are you guys on there? What's that?
Thing's
White-
cold right
What's
there.
that on there?
Kind of a note on there.
Round up.
Round up, fool.
Round up.
He had to change. We'll change the name of this show to the Roundup. Welcome back to the Roundup.
No, you round up, fool.
Oh, my God.
Can't wait. Chuck always rounds up unless it's his golf scorecard where he always rounds down.
See, after the skates.
Scats.
Come on, man. Be nice, man.
Scats. Not skates, scats.
Scats?
S-K-A-T-Z is scats, not skates.
Skates. Why, you can make both of them work.
Yeah, you could.
No, you can't. Stop
Meantime,
it. No, you can't.
Yes, you
time-
can.
it's
Skates
time to
can.
get
Stop it.
time to get back to San Antonio, where Marv Albert is calling his 1 millionth game.